guys, welcome back. So today I am playing MSE and there is going to be a huge storm hitting Maple Springs Farm.
I also have a huge surprise at the end of this video, so make sure you stick around.
So I need to get my horses ready, so I need to ride, clean them, wash them, feed them, turn them out maybe if I have time. Alrighty, so that being said, let's go get Hunter and tack him up. Alrighty, so now I'm just going to go into the paddock, only because then that space is a bigger space for us to ride and Hunter doesn't really do well in small spaces. And then the other riding arena doesn't have lots and lots of room.
Alrighty, then I mounted and then I went into the outdoor and started walking.
Alrighty, so now I'm on Hunter, and so now I'm just going to walk him around.
On this particular day, it was quite hot, so I made sure I gave Hunter a nice, good warm up.
Alrighty, after walking around for quite a long time, I think it is time to trot. Good boy. I then thought it would be a good idea to change directions and let him have a nice breather break. Since I already trotted this direction, I am just now going to canter once I get into this corner. Good boy.
I then decided to do some circles to get off the rail and to see if our steering worked today. I then wanted to canter the other direction because he normally does not do very good on this side. Hunter also was not as speedy as he always is on this direction and in general. From that point, I thought that we were all warmed up and were ready to jump. He did amazing the first jump, as always. This second time, I didn't have the best lineup, so I steered as much as I could and gave as much leg as I could. But he still did fabulous. I then tried it the other direction, and he was just as good. When we took off, he started drifting to the right, so I steered as much as I could at the end. I then tried the bounces, and this happened. Luckily, I wasn't hurt. I was all right, so I mounted and tried it again. This time I had a crop and successfully made both, even though he overjumped the first one. Since it's a nice day, I didn't want Hunter to be trapped in an outdoor while walking, so I took him on a trail ride. And yes, silly Hunter got scared of water even though he touched it. So I thought enough was enough and continued on our trail. On the trail that we went on, we saw some jumps and I let Hunter see it and then we jumped it, and the good boy that he is, he made it over. But since Hunter isn't that experienced and can't jump super high, we didn't jump jumps that high or like that. Once we got into the grass, Hunter bolted because he was so excited that he was home and knew where he was. After that, it was kind of hard to slow him down, but I managed to get him back to a canter, then a slower trot, and then a walk. Once we got back to the barn, I halted Hunter and decided to jump off of him and hit my head on the barn. I then put Hunter in his stall, untacked him, and brought him to the wash bay or wash stall. I then gave him a good sponge since he was very sweaty. Alrighty, so I just finished up washing, and I know it is kind of hot, but this is just a cooler that I put on him. Because since he is quite wet, he always rolls, and this is just to help him dry just a tad bit better. Should also help him. Before I took him out to the paddock, I then picked his hooves and totally dirty. Him. I then let him loose, ran out quickly so I didn't get run over, and he went bonkers. It was super late, so I decided to go get him, and he was laying down. I think he was asleep. So I walked in carefully, and it took a while to get him up, but I finally got him up. It was quite cold during this time, and I'm glad I left the cooler on because he would have been chilly. Then we just started to head back to the barn so then I could groom him and put him back in his stall so he can go back to sleep. Before I walked out, he collapsed on the floor. Okay, so apparently when I went to go turn in Hunter to the stables, it started downpouring and thundering. I know, I was frightened as well. I then got back to my house and went to bed. I then woke up at 7 in the morning to go get Hunter. I also woke up to this beautiful morning of rain outside. Again. And he is just the cutest thing ever. And I caught him laying down again. I then put his blanket on because, as you can see, it is. But the rain wasn't that heavy, so I could still turn him outside. It's going to be like that all day. I also didn't want to. There's going to be something turn him out later in the day, only because. So I took his halter off and went out, and he collapsed. I then went to go get Hunter because we have a new horse coming, and I need to get him inside. I then left the gate open because I want the new horse to explore more and run around in the paddock because I don't think that it has been in a paddock before, but we're going to test that theory. I also then took off Hunter's cooler and rug because it got a tad bit warmer. Okay, guys, I have a little secret for you guys. This horse that is about to pull up is not for me. It is for my older sister, and I bought it for her. The horse finally showed up, and Cindy didn't know anything about this. I didn't know much about this horse, so I didn't know if it would be able to be taken out of the trailer properly, but it worked phenomenally. Cindy, come here, quick!
Yes, what's the problem? Oh, he's so cute. Thanks, Kylie.
Yeah, no problem. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. And let me know if you want another Maple Springs video. Until next time,
Goodbye.